91 started in an emerging market in South Africa in 1991. We started by deploying capital into the South African markets. By the late 1990s, we were investing across the African continent. While this started in the public markets, we quickly deepened into the private debt, infrastructure, and real estate space. And what we've realized along the way is in order to be successful investing on the continent, you need to take a long-term view on sustainability. In order to have the impact on the local populations and generate the returns you want, you need to understand all of the implications for sustainability.
So in the 91 Africa Credit Team, we're really passionate about Africa, and it's the people of Africa. So people will often look at Africa and say, what are the natural resources and wealth? And people will think about diamonds, forests, gold, platinum, oil. But for us, it's the people. When we work with African companies, we try and find the African champions, entrepreneurs that know how to operate and work in these environments and build sustainable businesses. Those are the companies we like to back. And when it comes to moving goods, services, ideas, data around, you need fantastic or good infrastructure, and you need telecoms. So those are areas that we specialize in. And then when it comes to financing those dreams and aspirations, whether you're a small business, a large business, or an individual, you need excellent sustainable banks and non-banks. So in a nutshell, those are our sectors that we focus in to deliver on the dream and the passion of unlocking the aspirations of over 1 billion people in Africa.
We are at a key crossroad for South Africa. Despite many own goals and lots of handicaps as a result of our past, we still have an opportunity today to look forward and to place South Africa as a global example for what you can achieve. A global example of what you can achieve when diverse groups of people live and work together, bridging the gap between developing and developed, and leaving a strong legacy for future generations. The key to unlocking this is investment in infrastructure, where investment is really going to play the catalytic role. Never has the need for investment infrastructure been greater, both to maintain and to build out new capacity and really provide the backbone for South Africa's growth. Typically, equity is required to catalyze many of these projects. However, the bulk of the funds and the capital required will come from credit.
Infrastructure is a very important building block for any country or economy. Africa has got enormous deficit that needs to be covered. If you measure that in terms of the GDP, Africa only invests 3.5% in infrastructure. Given the stage of development of African economies, the most obvious opportunity for investment is infrastructure, and credit funds have been able to participate in that through project finance and other avenues. DFI have played an important role in terms of funding infrastructure, but also more importantly, one of the key objectives is to crowd in private capital, which include commercial funds like some that we have in our portfolios. Our commercial funds have also participated in funding infrastructure across the continent in transportation. We've funded airlines in East Africa and West Africa. We've done energy funding across the continent. And going forward, we see that as a massive opportunity to provide funding, given that 2/3 of people without access to electricity in the world are found in Africa.
The Emerging Africa Infrastructure Fund was started in 2002, funded by donor funding, primarily from the British government, and through the Private Infrastructure Development Group. 91 won the mandate to manage the fund around 6 years ago, and we've been managing the fund ever since. It's invested over $2 billion in mostly greenfield infrastructure projects across a variety of sectors. We've done around 24 renewable energy projects across solar, hydro and biomass. We've also invested in ports, airports, undersea fibre optic cables, telecom towers, student housing. And we even at one point did a novel project where we took out the gas from under a lake and used that to generate power for a country. So the Africa Credit Team at 91 is fully integrated into the 91 business, and we're able to offer our infrastructure expertise that we've been able to gain through EAIF and the PIDG's long-standing track record. It's not only infrastructure expertise that we offer, which is quite niche, but also ESG and development impact expertise. As this becomes more important for the conventional strategies, we are finding ourselves that we're becoming more relevant. And now it's at the forefront of sustainable investing in blended finance, and it's a wonderful platform from which we're able to draw expertise and inspiration.
As the 91 credit team, our core competency is deploying and receiving back our capital through a variety of conservative, defensive, and well-structured investment tools. Critically, this can be provided at scale, and scale is what you need to move the dial in South Africa. We believe that in South Africa, as is the case in many parts of the world, there's a real convergence and a need to bring strong commercial principles and combine them with good developmental outcomes to provide strong results, both for asset owners in the form of returns and to society in the form of tangible benefits.